Letters in the Rain. It all began on a quiet autumn morning in Edinburgh. The streets were glistening with last night's rain, and golden leaves danced along the cobblestones. Emma, a quiet literature student, sat by the window of her favorite cafe, a worn paperback in one hand and a latte in the other. She was waiting, not for someone, but for something. She just didn't know what yet. Across the street, a young man named Thomas hurried past, trying to shelter a stack of papers under his coat. One slipped free, carried by the wind, and landed right at Emma's feet. It was a letter, handwritten, poetic, and addressed to you, whoever you may be. Curious, Emma opened it. The words inside were simple, yet hauntingly beautiful. It was a love letter, clearly never sent, full of longing, regret, and hope. She looked up, trying to spot the mysterious writer, but Thomas had already disappeared into the gray mist. Over the following weeks, more letters came. Slipped under the cafe door, tucked into books at the library, or left inside old newspapers on park benches. Always the same handwriting. Always unsigned. Emma collected them, feeling like each one whispered something she had always needed to hear. Then one rainy evening, she wrote back. Dear stranger, her letter began, I think I've fallen in love with your words. But who are you? She left it in the same cafe window, hoping he would find it. And he did. The next day, he was there, wet from the rain, nervous, holding the original letter she found weeks ago. You're Emma, right? He asked, voice low but earnest. I didn't mean for anyone to read those. They were just thoughts I never had the courage to say. She smiled. I'm glad you didn't. Because they found me when I needed them the most. From that day on, they met every Sunday in the same cafe. Their lives slowly entwined, not with grand gestures, but with little things, shared books, long walks, quiet laughter. Years later, when they married under an arch of golden autumn leaves, Emma slipped a note into Thomas's hand. It read, to the man who wrote letters to the rain, thank you for finding me. Cherry blossom whispers of lavender, cherry blossom. On a quiet hillside in southern France, nestled between rows of violet lavender fields, lived a young woman named Elise. She ran a small cafe called Lavender, known for its lavender-infused pastries and the handwritten letters she included with each order, tiny poems, fragments of her heart. Across the sea in a bustling London publishing house, a tired editor named Thomas received a peculiar package, lavender shortbread with a note that read, you remind someone of dusk, gentle but never fading. It had been misdelivered to his office. Curious, he wrote back. And Elise replied. Weeks passed, then months. Their letters grew longer, deeper, discussing everything from their childhood dreams to the loneliness of modern life. Thomas, who had buried his romantic heart behind deadlines and manuscripts, found it awakening in Elise's elegant cursive. Elise, once certain she was meant for solitude, found herself dreaming of a stranger's laugh. One winter, under the guise of business travel, Thomas came to Providence. He found Elise beneath a fig tree, flower on her cheeks, reading his latest letter aloud to herself. Their eyes met, no words spoken at first, but in that gaze lived every sentence they'd ever shared. They spent 10 days together. 10 days filled with lavender fields, stargazing on cold rooftops, and learning how silence could feel like a love letter. He kissed her with a kind of reverence, like she was a story he had waited his whole life to read. Thomas returned to London, but the letters didn't stop. 1 year later, he returned, this time, not to visit, but to stay. Together, they ran the cafe, and in the evenings, Elise wrote poems while Thomas edited books on the terrace overlooking the hills. Every letter she wrote now began not with dear stranger, but my love. And in the scent of lavender, in every shared morning and soft-spoken night, they found a quiet, enduring kind of forever.